Back in my day, we didn't need to pull out a loan to go to the grocery store. Who does Hailey Bieber think she is?
Yeah, the smoothies there don't even have real Bieber in them.
Never say never.
This is a hot dog is a sandwich.
Ketchup is a smoothie.
Yeah, I put ice in my cereal, so what?
That makes no sense.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
What? Welcome to our podcast, A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, the show we break down the world's biggest food debates. I'm your host, Josh Scher.
And I'm your host, Nicole and Heidi.
And today we have a very special guest joining us. We have Gwynedd Stuart from Sporked.com, the grocery store impresario herself. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you.
So you are a recent Erewhon convert. You have not yet been there until today.
As of today.
Crazy.
So I'd never been on principle almost.
Interesting, okay.
And then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be on a podcast about it, so I'm going to pop in. And I wound up walking around and finding so many snacks that seemed fun.
What did you end up picking up from there?
Well, we should tell the people what Erewhon is if they do not yet know what Erewhon is. Erewhon is, to our knowledge...
Why are you saying it like that?
Erewhon. That is how you pronounce it.
Is that how you say it?
Erewhon.
All of the fancy people say Erewhon.
I think just saying Erewhon is fine.
Yeah, so Erewhon now sounds weird to me. Erewhon is, to our knowledge, the fanciest grocery store in Los Angeles, which is a place that has some of the fanciest little cities in the world. I occasionally pop into the Studio City Erewhon because it's right next to the gymnasium that I go to. And I will pay an extra $2 for the normal Faye Greek yogurt and blueberries that I would normally get from another grocery store because then I don't have to repark my car and I can just come straight to work. So that is my main relationship to Erewhon. Yes, Nicole?
Does your Erewhon have valet parking and do you utilize it, or is it like a ticket system?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. My car is already parked for the gymnasium, you see, and I get to validate the parking, so it is free.
And what gym do you go to?
I'm not going to tell. There's only one. People are going to know. It's I go to Equinox. I'm a fancy boy. I go to the Equinox.
Josh has become. You have to understand, Gwynedd. Yeah. Josh has turned into such a fancy boy.
That's correct.
He goes to the gym at Erewhon. He grocery stores at Erewhon. Yeah, I'm sorry. He gyms at Equinox.
I'm lifting the cantaloupes at Erewhon. Don't bother me.
He gymnasiums at Equinox.
That's right. So. And now he shops at Erewhon. What else are you going to? You're going to get a Capital One card? What's
I got a massage. I use a Chase Sapphire Preferred, not a sponsor.
God, me too.
At restaurants. It does good work.
So fancy.
I got a massage for the first time. I paid money for it.
You paid someone to touch your body?
Yeah, that's how bougie I have become. I can't even touch my own body anymore. I have to pay somebody else to do that.
I can't believe it.
Did you enjoy it?
I did, actually. It was really, not like too much. But I did know I had a good time. But it was in Italy, and there was a language barrier. And the thing that I'm always worried about we'll get back to Erewhon in a sec. The thing I'm always worried about with massages is the cultural coding of when I'm supposed to take off my pants. You know?
Fair.
Yeah, and so in Italy, I didn't speak much Italian, and she didn't speak much English, and so I was just having to gesture like, do I take off my pants now? But anyways, it turned out good. So Erewhon, it kind of came out of like the macrobiotic fad diet movement, right? It was founded by two Japanese people in Boston, actually, about 60 years ago. It's a reference to a Samuel Butler novel, a satirical novel about a place in the future where illness is punished.
You know this?
I had no idea about it.
No idea. I just thought it was nowhere backwards.
I know.
It's not even backward. It's an anagram of nowhere. But no, there was a Samuel Butler. It's an anagram. It's an anagram of nowhere. It's not nowhere backwards, right? Erewhon. It's not nowhere backwards.
What are you talking about?
No, that's not how you spell nowhere backwards. It's Nohwere. Nowhere is Now.
It's true.
Yeah.
I just can't win.
Anyways, but the point is,
cards are stacked against me.
This is the classic thing that happens with like Whole Foods, right? Whole Foods used to be the crunchy granola kind of weirdo store where you'd get wheatgrass shots, and then now it's owned by Amazon. It's a multi-billion-dollar business. Erewhon is kind of that, but even smaller and even fancier and even more expensive. So how was your first experience there?
So I went to the one in Silver Lake.
How was it?
And I thought it was small. I thought that everyone there seemed very busy and like they had a lot to do that day. While I was trying to like be kind of cash and just like kind of like browse. It didn't seem ideal for browsing.
Okay.
That's a criticism.
Yep.
But other things about it were, okay, I think that grocery prices have gotten just so crazy in general that when I look at Erewhon prices, yes, some things are completely ridiculous. But then other things, it's like, yeah, I don't know. That's probably what that costs now. Who knows? Maybe spinach dip costs $15 and comes in a jar. Who am I to say?
Right.
Our brains are so scrambled now.
But you get, oh my God, but you actually get money back if you buy their spinach dip in a jar and then you bring your jar
Bring
back.
the jar back.
How much do you get back?
Loophole.
Quarter?
No, I think it was actually like $2.50 or something.
Oh, really?
That's significant.
That's pretty awesome.
It's like bringing
Bring your jar
a
back.
growler of beer back to a brewery. It's like that, but with spinach artichoke dip, and they just have a tap, and they pull it, and it just goes. And spinach artichoke dip comes back in the jar.
I didn't even think about how they were dispensing spinach
gotta
dip,
be
but I
refillable,
love
right?
that.
Yeah.
I love that, and everyone should start telling people that they have spinach dip on tap because I think
agree.
people would really like that a lot.
Normally, we wouldn't just talk about a local, regional LA grocery store because we have a global audience here. But Erewhon has now superseded its little geographic radius primarily because of the Hailey Bieber smoothie, hence the intro.
Yeah, and there's only 10 locations, which is insane how much traction this little grocery store has gained.
Yeah, the amount of TikToks, people coming in from out of town. I've seen TikTokers shooting at the Studio City location. I'm just trying to buy my Vitamins Wild blueberries because they have double the antioxidants and they're small, Nicole. They're small and they
Are they
break up
wild?
better in the blender. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're great. They sell them in 3-pound sacks. I love it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Nicole, you can probably speak more to the Hailey Bieber smoothie because I think it has chemicals in there that you like to put in your body.
Well, I actually have only had it once before, and I think there's like maca root and things like that, and like coconut yogurt, which I do dabble in. I'm a young lady that grew up in LA, so of course my finger is going to be on the pulse of these fabulous newfound things you put into your smoothie. I do think the pricing is absolutely abhorrent. I think
$19.
Right now it's
listed.
$19?
Yeah, as if there's like surge pricing. Yeah.
I mean, I think it
Right
started
now.
I think it was $17.50, but now it's like however much it is. I think the Harry's berries is also what makes it very expensive. I think you can get like a pound of Harry's berries for $20 or something like that, which is also exorbitant. They're delicious. I love them very much. But so it's $20 for strawberries? Like, what are we doing? But the smoothies, they're too expensive and they don't even taste that great. I just get it just to get it, just to say, hey, I tried it at least once. Like I got a little tick mark on the box. But I'm not a repeat customer by any means.
It's got the collagen in it.
Has
It's
collagen?
got the collagen.
I
That's
have
why it's
collagen.
the strawberry glaze skin smoothie or strawberry skin glaze.
Well, also Hailey
Don't talk about
Bieber
glazing
has
skin.
I know,
she has a
gross.
skincare / makeup line called Rhode, which is her middle name. And so I understand why. And she also did a Krispy Kreme collab too with strawberries. So strawberries, skincare, Krispy Kreme, Erewhon, they all make sense. Hailey Bieber's just getting richer and richer every second we talk about it. But I'm
welcome.
not the biggest I'm not the biggest fan of the smoothies at Erewhon. But for specifics like I don't know, like their vitamins and stuff. Sure, purchase them. Their deodorant. Sure, I understand the appeal. The vegetables there, I will say their produce and stuff, way too expensive. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going there to buy a banana. Not happening.
I took a peek at some like golden raspberries.
Okay.
And it was a very small container of them and it was about $6. And I was like, I think that's what I expected.
Sure.
A kind of odd sort of produce to cost.
Specialty items, things like golden raspberries and coconut yogurt and fermented kefir, like from the Himalayan mountains. Like, I'm down to pay a premium for those products. But whenever it comes to everyday grocery shopping, the idea of doing that at Erewhon or even Whole Foods or even Bristol Farms sometimes,
Yeah.
I just can't get behind. What I want is more Piggly Wigglies.
I want more
you ever
Aldi's.
been to a Piggly Wiggly?
I love
Do you actually want
Aldi.
more
Or an Aldi.
I do love Aldi, yeah.
Yes, I've never walked into a Piggly Wiggly, but I've always seen like extreme couponers and stuff on
Oh,
TLC do it.
God, I love that show.
I know, me too. And it's like I've always wanted to step foot and just experience that kind of rush of getting like $3.99 for a pound of beef. I've never
Yes.
experienced that before. I know. Stop laughing. I'm being so serious. Like, is it at Smart? I shop at Smart and Final. I shop at Ralph's. I also shop at these places too, and other discount like grocery outlet and stuff like that. But Piggly Wiggly, man,
If
I don't
you're
know what
shopping
it
there,
is.
why not just go whole hog at Walmart? Because I mean, honestly,
What's
Walmart,
whole-
like we've all
Whole hog at Walmart?
don't buy a whole hog at Walmart. I'm saying go all the way and do your grocery shopping at Walmart.
I have
Walmart
before.
has, Yeah, but I'm saying, like, is that
fine.
Walmart does have low prices every day.
they really do?
should've worn my
if we
Walmart
can
hat.
go back to Aldi real quick, when the Aldi in Burbank opened up, I'd never been to an Aldi before. They're a lot more popular in different parts of the U.S. and they like split from a German company. There's now like Aldi Nord. Anyways,
Yes.
they're now making like a bigger play in California. I was very excited because I heard, all these great things, and then I went in there and it like kind of really bummed me out. Because I was like, oh my God, it's like if somebody shrunk a Costco down.
It's not an uplifting experience to
It's
shop at
not.
an Aldi, I will say. But you can find such fun things there. A lot of seasonal fun products, and everything's so cheap.
It is really cheap. Also, I now understand like hardline conservative opinions that make no sense because mine when I go into Aldi is cashiers shouldn't sit.
Of course they should
They
sit.
should stand.
I love that
Why are they
sit.
sitting down?
Love
It's weird.
that they sit.
What do you mean? It's
I
so
wish
much
they would put
easier
their
to
feet
sit.
up.
I'm saying
I agree.
I'm saying it's nonsensical. It makes no sense for me to think that, but it creeps me out. No,
Really?
I'm absolutely the bad person here. And
Do you
if
go
I
to the
think about it-
library?
if I think no, do you think I go to the library?
When's the
No,
last time I went to the
go
library?
Like I
You want the
read-
librarian to
College.
stand up?
What are librarians doing most of the time?
Sitting down and reading.
What is their function?
They're sitting down and
Who
reading.
are they, like,
Dewey
help-
Decimal
somebody's
System.
like, I need to find a book and I don't know how to use the internet. Like, that's what a librarian. I know librarians do a lot. We're going to get a lot of mad librarians. I know.
You do
Everyone
not
boo
want
Josh.
that.
Boo Josh. No, I'm kidding. Cashiers absolutely should sit down, but I will say it's jarring the first time you're just like,
Sure.
got a little chair back there.
I mean, to be fair, I grew up shopping at a lot of like ethnic grocery stores, like Jewish markets, Persian markets, and like Asian markets, and people be sitting, cashiers be sitting.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
all
that's
about
fair.
comfort.
Me
To
too.
comfort myself.
Me too.
Do you guys know that speech in Devil Wears Prada where somebody's like, these clothes all look very silly and they're stupid and expensive. And then Meryl Streep or whatever, I've seen this movie once like 15 years ago. And then Meryl Streep goes like, that Pantone Blue 0495 was seen in the Tom Ford 1995 collection. 8 years later, it sold 80% of the clothes at TJ Maxx. Or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's not blue. It's not even cerulean. It's lapis.
Oh,
that
that's
one?
what that-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
what
one.
I was trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
No
translating.
problem. I got you, buddy.
I feel like that's like Erewhon, though. You walk through Erewhon and you see like, what is this weird fermented kefir cultured coconut yogurt? And then 3 years later, you're in a Ralph's and you see like Faye has made their own coconut yogurt. Right? It's like the ends of the extreme that end up trickling down, and you can actually like see trends like that. Right? Like I went to Erewhon, saw Calabrian chili hot sauce. Never seen that before in my life. It was $15 for normal hot
Remember
sauce
when
bottle.
you bought it and you brought it to work?
Do you remember where it ended up?
The trash.
No, it did not. It ended up
Your
in
house.
comedian Trevor Wallace's home because we got that and we tried it and we're like, this isn't very good. And then he was shooting an episode with us and he was like, oh, I really love this hot sauce, dude. And then we're like, it's your
Take
souvenir.
it.
Take
Oh,
it.
wow. Okay.
So Trevor,
There
if
you
you
go.
still have that hot sauce, let us know. But like that might be Frank's Red Hot might be coming out with the Calabrian chili sauce in 3-4 years. So that's like you said, it is
Yes.
terrible for browsing because there's so many rich people with large and small dogs. Rich people hate medium-sized dogs. You know?
I will also say, I feel like I've been a real Erewhon apologist since I got here. I'm just still, I got an adaptogen drink, so I'm just really high on that right now.
Hell yeah.
But my plan was to get a smoothie just because I wanted to do it once. I feel like that's like we're saying,
Tick
like
the
people
box.
go, get it once, just try it. I was too intimidated to do
It's
it.
so freaky.
I know.
Wait,
I
to get a
hot
smoothie?
bar?
Yeah, I didn't want to
Yeah.
interact with any employees or as few employees as possible
Mm.
because they seem like they would judge you.
Did you walk past the hot bar at all?
I did not.
Okay. Next time, walk past the hot bar. It's so scary.
Really?
I'm so scared to talk to them.
Well, there's like titans of industry waiting to get a little scoop of tuna salad. You know, it's weird.
Seriously.
Like, actually, yeah, I don't like it. Rich
yeah, what-
teens with Harvard Westlake shirts on.
Do they have any good stuff on the hot part? Because that's Whole Foods territory.
Well, their buffalo cauliflower is incredibly delicious and quite popular. I've gotten their steelhead salmon before, and their white bean avocado kale salad. It set me back about $44.
Jeez,
I will
that's a real price tag.
And I
on
will
it.
never. Let me tell you
God.
again. I've only done it once, and I will never do it again because I can truly make all of those things at home.
Yes.
There's nothing on that menu other than the kelp. There's like this weird kelp noodle thing that I cannot make. I just don't want to make it, and I have no desire to make it. I'm willing to pay for that, but things like white bean kale salad that costs maybe $1.50 to make, them charging that much for it is insanity. It might be organic, it might be fair trade, it might be made by someone who really knows what they're doing, but I'm never ever going to do that again.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the stuff that they're not spending extra money on, they are charging extra premium prices on it. Like the Faye yogurt, they sell that at Ralph's.
Yeah.
And they sell that at Erewhon. It is literally like 40% more expensive at
So crazy.
Erewhon. So yeah, there's just massive markups, and a lot of that's probably just, they have certain margins that they hit from their business, and they can sell it for that much.
I was going to say, and some people want things to be more expensive.
It's true.
Silly.
It is, but it's true.
Trader Joe's, to me, had one of the most interesting phenomenons, and they actually found this in studies, that people thought Trader Joe's was healthier.
I thought it was healthier and I thought it was fancier because of their marketing
100%.
and how the whole, it's whenever you walk into Trader Joe's and the way that it's set up, you're like, oh, bounty. The first thing you see is their flowers.
The flowers,
And that is strategically placed there to make you think you're walking into a beautiful, bountiful grocery store. And the way that it's set up, the aisles, how big it is, how grand it is, and the fact that all of their snacks are white labeled and it's only Trader
Yeah.
Joe's specific makes you feel like it's this fancy,
Feels
cool
mom and
world
pop, too.
that you're walking into. And it's something that, unfortunately, Aldi and like Smart and Final, I just don't think they think about because it's not worth it to them to invest in that kind of storytelling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Erewhon has that in spades, right? Like the first thing you see when you walk into the location that I end up in sometimes, and also a product that I happen to love, and I found out because of Erewhon, was Olipop. There's this giant, they've actually switched to Poppy Dorama.
Oh, I saw that. They had a lot
The
of
giant Poppy wall. How did that happen? You know?
Wouldn't you love to know?
You probably switched
But
hands.
like, it's big, bright, cool packaging. Everything feels very cool. All of their white labeled stuff, right? It's very sleek logos.
Very
feels,
sleek. Erewhon is very
feels
sleek.
very Silicon Valley, and they're trying to impart that aesthetic for people who would gladly pay $3 more for the same yogurt somewhere else. So that's really interesting. But I think these sort of trickle down effects, like Bristol Farms is another very fancy grocery store, right?
Gelson's. Yeah.
Gelson's is another one. Those are,
Gelson's
I'd say
too,
both
yeah.
of those are like a little bit like 15, 20 years ago, kind of stuck in the past. But trickle down effect, Bristol Farms, the first time I saw a friggin' poke bar inside
Oh, yeah.
a grocery store. Something that
Still
is
holds up.
I've still never seen that.
really, so now Kroger is the largest seller of sushi in the world, I believe, at least in America.
Stop.
Wow.
Yeah, grocery store. Who would have thought grocery store sushi? Like I remember being in college and there'd be like a little sushi stand inside the Ralph's out there, and I was like, that is new and strange. Now every Ralph's has like a big sushi counter, and the first time I saw that was at Bristol Farms. You know, and ditto for the Ralph's in Westwood, where they had to compete with Whole Foods, so they put in like a bar inside the Ralph's.
I remember that.
So a lot of these fancy grocery stores, right? Things start out as fancy until they can scale, and then they end up dropping down to the normies.
Yes.
So Erewhon and these fancy grocery stores are the Vogue of grocery stores.
Literally, yes. They are the Anna Wintour.
Oh, God.
And they have all the
I hate that. It's just food. It's sustenance for our bodies. This
not-
sucks.
Food has never just been food. Food has never just been food. It's
Fine.
always been marketing, right? It's always been for cultural reasons, for just straight entertainment reasons. Like,
Yeah.
Especially for Erewhon when you have expensive sweatsuits and you want
Yeah.
the tote bag and all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
what is this thing that they have where it's not a subscription? You have to be a member or something? Do you know anything about the Erewhon membership?
I do. I am an Erewhon.
You are?
It's,
Who are
that
you?
is wild to me.
And what have you done with
You're
my
full of
Josh?
surprises.
I don't like this man. I don't like him.
He wears
If
linen
you-
pants now.
These are Old Navy. I got these for $20 at Old Navy. Erewhon, if you spend am I an Erewhon? I am a member, but did I get fooled?
It's like being a VIB Rouge member for all my girls.
I must have been fooled because I think it's $200 a year, but it's a straight cash back system, and so I think it's if you spend $1,000 a year, you win. Or is it
You win.
2,000?
You win what?
You win back your money.
You win the math. It's just simply, do you want to pay $200 now to get 10% off going through? I think it's either 10 or 20. I can't remember.
Okay.
And then you just get a discount. So it's like if you join the app and spend $2,000 a year at Erewhon, but like I don't think I do. So I think I just gave him $200 for nothing.
Does the sweatsuit come with the?
I
They
got
should
no
give
sweatsuit.
you
I got no sweatsuit.
something.
I got no sweatsuit.
A membership card even that you could flash at people.
Like a
That'd be
Ralph's
pretty
membership?
good.
Like,
It's just an app too. It's just I can flash the Erewhon app.
you get one free smoothie, I think.
Am I starting to realize I don't like the person that I've become?
Yeah.
I think that's happening. I think it's happening.
Well, you're growing.
Or
You're growing. You can just determine which way you want to grow. You are your own son. You are a sunflower, and you can determine where your sun should be.
You're your own best invention.
Is that a song?
You guys remember asparagus water?
I do. I feel like we have a connection to asparagus water,
do you-
actually.
Oh my god, you do. Explain.
Do you remember who discovered asparagus water?
Certainly do.
Name her on 3. 1,
Name
2.
her, shame her.
Marielle Joachim.
Joachim, yeah.
What?
Yeah,
What are
she
you
was
guys
the one that
talking
found it.
about? How do you know this person?
I worked with her at Los Angeles Magazine,
And then I worked with her at Los Angeles Magazine.
but we never
after
worked
Josh
together. I got fired. I got fired pretty hard.
Lucky.
Got fired so hard. But anyways, no, she walks in one day and is just like, hey, I found this at Whole Foods, and shows me a picture of asparagus sitting in water for like $8. And it's like asparagus infused water. And she was like, do you want to like run this? And I was like, I'm busy, leave me alone. And
You
then
talk to your coworker like that?
no, I didn't say that. I didn't say I was like, oh, it's interesting, but I have no, but that was the spirit. I
The
was
vibe.
like,
You're like, not right now.
I was like, I don't really
And
want to write
that's
about
why
it
he
right now.
got fired.
And then she like texted to a friend, and then the friend ended up like stealing the picture and posting it, and then everybody like blogged it and got millions of views, and my dumb ass passed on it.
No.
Yeah,
For no
it went
reason,
very
so, yeah.
viral. Marielle still like kind of posts about it every year. Like,
love that.
remember when I went viral for finding asparagus water?
That's fun.
So I was telling Sporked Justine about this yesterday, and I recognized that I needed to go ahead and Google like what the deal with this was. Do you remember what their excuse for this was, the asparagus water?
I do not.
Okay, well, like, it was like corporate, like Whole Foods corporate was like, this was a mistake. Like, this was supposed to be, the way they explained it did not make sense to me. It was supposed to be, they were like, it was supposed to be vegetable infused broth that you would use for soups and things like that.
Okay.
But I was like, why was there like a label and a SKU for asparagus water
Yeah,
then?
that doesn't add up.
I don't think it adds up.
I mean, this would have like predated by a couple years the celery juice trend, but like where like
Yes.
spa water is really big at the time. You know, you put a couple slices of cucumber in water and you sell
remember.
that. Like
Yeah.
Whole Foods had that. Were they just trying to find?
There
what
must
happened?
have, like a manager at the store, was probably like, just throw whatever in the water and charge
someone
people
will buy
$6 for it, and they'll buy it.
Oh my gosh.
But
Sometimes you innovate and you girl boss too close to the sun, and I think that's simply what happened there. And I
I
think that's
remember
totally
that
fine.
picture vividly on my Twitter timeline. I remember it vividly. I'm like,
No.
it's gone off the deep end.
right? But that was like, that was like everyone's example for like Whole Foods is completely ridiculous. And they were like, no, we're not.
Which is funny because Whole Foods seems so very tame now compared to
Totally.
Erewhon.
Yeah.
And I think you have a point when you're talking about how bad inflation's gotten. I had a very depressing.
It's not inflation, it's corporate greed.
It's corporate, but how bad corporate greed has gotten. I don't know. Shit's expensive now. It sucks. But I went to Ralph's and I, bought like a normal amount of food to make a couple meals, and it was like pretty small, and it was just like $77. And I think I had a couple things of like dried mint for $7. So small things. The price didn't really surprise me. That's how expensive stuff is. The cashier just goes, "This is $77 now?" And I go, "Yeah, it sucks." And she just goes, "How are we supposed to survive?"
Oh my gosh.
I go,
So true.
I don't know.
So true. Imagine.
Oh, dark.
Imagine
cashier,
kosher food. Imagine buying kosher meat.
Yeah.
It's like $15 for a pound of ground kosher meat. It's like so
Wow.
much more expensive. But you know what? I don't have an answer for it. I don't have a solution. All I know is that I hate fancy grocery stores, but I can't stop going to them.
I think I'll be popping back into.
Yeah.
Like,
For special little fancy treats.
Erewhon, for sure. Did Whole Foods used to do samples?
Oh my gosh, you mean like
They did.
I feel like they did.
Oh my
you mean
God, they
like
did. They
in
had
the bulk with the bulk
flippies.
stuff?
They had the little flippy domes.
I have a memory of living in
Flippy
Atlanta and being
domes.
very poor, and like we would just be like, let's go to Whole Foods and get samples, like
Yeah,
for lunch.
peanut butter. Like they had the peanut butter machine too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I borrowed a few pints of peanut butter. Good times, good times.
Yeah.
Wheeze that juice.
Pauly Shore
That's a
reference,
Pauly
classic
Shore
days.
reference.
And
I feel like
think
that's really timely.
It really is. I
Thanks.
think he's eternal. You know what the grand irony and real depressing fact about this is? Here comes Josh to make people even sadder, right? Americans spend less of their disposable income on food than most developed nations.
Okay.
Right? And we also have like some of the most egregious farming practices, right, to try and artificially make those foods cheaper with
Right.
things like monoculture corn that is just absolutely tearing up the soil, and we need to spray more and more glyphosate on it.
No
So-
seeds, right? No seeds. The fruits don't make seeds.
Oh, you're talking
Monsanto?
about self-terminating seeds?
Yes.
Anyways, I think it's a myth, but I'm saying like we should be spending more money on food, but the problem
Yes.
is people don't have money, right?
Yeah.
So that's the ultimate. So if we're just saying like, well, make the food cheaper, then it's like, well, we're already cramming the hens so close together to get them to poop eggs. We're growing chickens in 3 months, and their breasts are so big, their heads are dragged. What more can we do? Like, where is the actual solution here to making cheaper, more affordable food for people? Gwynedd.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
We were locked. You're like, yeah.
No, but I think about that a lot, especially with produce. When you think about like, oh my God, I can't even imagine what, like, if I grow like one plant in my yard, I'm like, oh, I got 5 tomatoes a year. And it's just like, whoa, there's so much going into this
Yeah.
that it actually does, like, it's like, it kind of should be, food should be kind of expensive. People need to pick it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
You
oh,
can
yes,
grow
yes, yes, I
it.
agree with
Water's
Fair wage for
expensive.
labor,
blah, blah,
yes.
blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like a little bit of a conundrum for sure.
Yeah, things are too expensive, but wages are too low.
Yeah.
And here
UBI.
we find ourselves.
UBI.
Buckminster Fuller. Now, one day we'll solve the world's problems, but for now we can just pay $19 for a Hailey Bieber smoothie and just go, this sucks! As we watch the Rolls Royces drive by the Erewhon. There's a dude that has like a Rolls Royce and there's like a Hulk like fist wrap on the car, and he's like, I'm a man!
Oh, man.
And it's freaking cool, dude. He drives real fast through the parking lot.
You know what
course.
I think he should start doing? Taking his Rolls Royce over to the Piggly Wiggly. And
Where's the closest Piggly Wiggly to Los
probably
Angeles?
Nevada.
Where? All right, Nicole and Gwen, it's time for everyone's fourth favorite segment on the podcast. It's where we put our food knowledge to the test. That's right, it's time for...
Yummy in my tummy, got some trivia for you.
So Robot Maggie has 3 questions prepared. Nicole and Gwynedd, you and I will yell the answer once the question is done. You must wait for the question to be done. If
All
the
right.
first guesser is incorrect, the other person will get one chance to guess and earn the point. Sorry, I only read phonetically. Let's hear the first question.
What famous cereal mascot's first and middle names are Horatio Magellan,
Oh, I know it.
Oh, I know too.
I know it.
I know. I know.
We all know it.
When do
One,
we say it?
two,
Who busted?
three.
Captain Crunch.
The correct answer is Cap'n Crunch.
Cap'n.
Captain. We have more questions?
Two
Like,
more.
who won that one?
Don't yell it.
Well, I yelled that I know it.
It's
I'm
too
so sorry.
loud.
I needed people to know that I know it. My therapist recently told me that, you should work on thinking that people need to know that you know things. And I agreed with her.
What did you say?
I agree. Why, express that, sometimes I get myself in hot water because I'm like, I need this person to know that I know that thing.
You don't need that.
I don't need that.
You don't
think
need
it serves
that.
me anymore.
No,
yeah.
it really
My God,
doesn't.
your therapist.
She's really
Proud of you.
yeah, but
Next
I
one. Come on. I'm all jazzed
kind of
up.
slipped up because I screamed, I know it in the microphone.
What ice cream brand and amusement park staple was born in the 1980s when Kurt Jones used his knowledge of cryogenic
I know.
technology to create ice cream?
I know, we all
I know.
I mean, I don't. I'm leaning back and opening up space for others.
1, 2, 3.
Dippin' Dots.
Don't
Correct
say
answer is
it.
Dippin' Dots.
And then Dippin' Dots declared bankruptcy in 2009, but then it was taken over by a private equity firm who found out that it wasn't the ice cream that was actually making the company successful. It was their technology and cryogenics, so now they're actually selling cryogenic technology in their giant freezers to industrial tech companies.
If Josh's therapist is listening,
It's actually a really fascinating business story. It's
That
it's really
is.
cool. Yeah.
You should be on Business Wars.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, no one wants your ice cream that burns the roof of your mouth, but you've made the world's best gigantic industrial cryogenic freezers, and that can be used for like medicines.
oh, okay. I was okay. Good.
they were like-
I immediately thought of dead bodies.
Yeah, naturally.
That too. Yeah,
Naturally.
yeah. That was a thing in like growing
Please
up with
freeze me.
90s culture. Yeah, we thought we were all going to be frozen. I
Yeah.
think Futurama had a lot to do with that.
Probably.
The documentary Futurama. One more.
Translated into English as Ramdon, the Korean dish japagori is made by combining the Chapagetti and Niyaguri brands of what food product?
I know. I know the answer. Does anybody else know the answer?
I actually don't.
1, 2, 3. Ramen.
Okay.
But wait, but it said
The correct answer is noodles.
Is ramen noodles?
I mean, men is Japanese for noodles.
I know, but it's the ramen
Myeon-
packets. It's
yeah.
we call it
But
colloquially
what,
ramen packets.
but why is it called ramdan?
It's because it's because it's niyoguri and shin black, right? Is that the combination?
Don means bowl, right? So is it just
I think
ramen bowl, ramdan?
It's from Parasite. It's from Parasite.
What? It's not from. It existed before Parasite. Parasite used the product.
I know, but the reason why it became popular
I
is
understand.
the reason why it became popular is because everyone was making it because of Parasite. Because you combine the two noodles and then you add steak to it, which explains poor and rich, combining the two. God, read a book.
If Nicole's therapist is listening. Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, so no, it's udon. The don is udon.
But it's not niyoguri is not udon, is it?
I believe it is. Or is chapaguri? I don't know. I've never actually had it. I don't believe. Well,
Okay,
But
well,
the answer was noodles, and that's what I was going to say.
Gwynedd's the official champion. Couldn't win Jeopardy.
Oh.
They got us here.
Hey.
Yummy, yummy.
Hey, what
We got some
gives?
trivia for you. Now everyone's sixth favorite segment on the show. Let's get to the opinions like casseroles. Nicole, you said you'd like to sing.
Opinions are like casseroles. Okay,
All right.
thank you so much.
I legitimately forgot how seductive that voicemail out message
How
is.
could you forget?
Never
Jesus
forget.
Christ, you guys.
How
But
Section.
I don't know if it's a controversial opinion, but it's just something I've been doing for a few months and I've lost some weight and I feel good about it.
Hey.
I've been putting literally cabbage in everything.
Oh my
So
god!
I meal prep in taquitos, burritos, Alfredo situations, red sauce situations,
Wow.
and what have you. I've just been putting like a half a head of cabbage in all of my meal prep.
The people are waking
And it's
up.
been killing it. And also, it tastes delicious.
Yes.
Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have swore. Eh. All right. Well, you guys have a very good day. And I love the pod. Bye.
The revolution happens the same way the Bolshevik Revolution happened in 1918. The cabbage fuels the people.
Are you talking about war again?
What? No, a little bit. But here's the key to solving all these, crises and corporate greed and inflation and mass agricultural, upheaval. Cabbage, man. Here's the thing: cabbage. 30% of groceries in people's homes are thrown right in the trash because a lot of them go bad. You know what doesn't go bad? Cabbage, dude. I've gone on vacation, 2 weeks, come back, cabbage still there. Great.
That's very true.
Okay, let me tell you. I remember when I used to go grocery shopping, cabbage was 89 cents. Now it's $3.99.
Wow.
Okay, and it really bothers me. And I love cabbage. I eat a lot of cabbage. I make a lot of cabbage salads. I braise my cabbage. I put in stir fries, what have you. But the thought of me spending $4 for a head of cabbage drives me absolutely up the wall.
But that's like 50 cents per serving. Dude, like an eighth of a cabbage, that's a pretty damn good serving of vegetables. You know what I mean? A lot of fiber in an eighth of a cabbage.
I know you get used to paying a certain price for it, though, and
really
then it's just like,
ridiculous.
really, what do you want from me here?
I'd rather spend the $4 on like leafy greens because I think that tastes better and I use it more frequently than I do a head of cabbage. But maybe I just need to switch my way of thinking and realize that like it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to get a lot of use out of the cabbage.
I want to see the stats of like nutrient per dollar on cabbage versus leafy green because I would swear that cabbage is
More nutrient dense?
not even more nutrient, but I mean I think cabbage is like heavier and heftier and doesn't break down as much or wilt as much when you cook. It adds more body to it. I would bet it has more fiber because that is like wood, man. It's that tasty wood.
But I do buy like dark leafy greens. I'm not buying like iceberg and romaine. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. But I will say switching out your carbs for the cabbage is a great way to feel healthy and good about yourself.
I wasn't even familiar with that strategy, and I love it now. So,
Smart.
truly.
So smart.
So many of my favorite foods come on beds of cabbage. You know what I mean? Big fan. Big fan. Great job.
Coleslaw.
Proud of you.
Coleslaw.
Ooh, spicy voicemail. Hey guys, I'm a
heard
big
it.
fan of the podcast, and I just got an opinion for you. There's always a debate between Twizzlers and Red Vines, and they're both trash. I want to know why Australian licorice is never in the conversation. It's a better flavor. It's a better texture. It's just wildly underrated when it comes to this debate, and I want to know your guys' opinion. Also, I hate black licorice, but boy howdy can I suck down some Jägermeister. What do you guys think?
Boy,
Thanks.
howdy. This is so timely for me because I'm about to do a
Jägermeister
licorice.
you sucking down?
I'm just sucking it down. I actually had Jägermeister this weekend.
Haven't had it in years.
I had 2 shots of Jägermeister. Isn't that cool of me?
Hell yeah,
I'm gonna
brother.
have some this week in your honor.
God, I know. It sounds fun. I want some right now. But I'm also doing a taste test of licorice for Sporked.
Red licorice, black licorice.
I'm going to do it all.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
I think I'm ethically opposed to the red and the black mixing in that way.
Okay. Well,
That sounds so messed up, but I can explain. But
I don't want to betray your ethics, but
no, but they're entirely different. So licorice is like a plant, right? It's a
know.
root that
Root,
grows,
yes.
and the flavor of it, black licorice is a retronym, right? It used to just be called licorice because that's the plant. And then people were like, hey, we love the sticks of sugar, but we hate this gross root that you flavored it with. And they're like, what if we put artificial cherry flavoring and red food dye in it? And they're like, that's the ticket. Now there's red and black licorice, right? It's like when the electric guitar was invented, we had to start calling it the acoustic guitar. Before it was just called a guitar.
What is the difference between Twizzlers and Red Vines? I actually don't know the taste difference.
I
Is
think
there a
they're
taste
dramatically different.
Like the amount of lead in it.
I don't even think. Let me tell you, I don't even think about it. I just think about like red licorice. Like if it's in front of me, I'll have a bite of it, and I don't have a preference. I'm not obsessed with either one.
So Twizzlers are strawberry flavored, unless you're buying Twizzlers nibs, which are cherry flavored.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Red Vines are red licorice flavored,
Okay.
which is I think it's much different tasting. But
Okay.
it's also it's a flavor that I couldn't like describe.
Are Red Vines shinier and Twizzlers are less shiny? Or am I imagining
Twizzlers
that?
are shiny, red vines are matte.
Okay, got it,
Red
got it.
vines.
I think it's just the dust
so much
that is collected on in the
research.
factory.
So much research.
Red vines have a much bigger hole.
Okay. Good.
Right.
If
I
you
like
like
them.
a big hole, then you'll
Big
like
ol'.
red vines.
Big ol' goatee red vine, yep.
Oh, he said goatee in 2024. Loser.
And well, because do you remember going to the movies as a child and you would get Twizzlers and you would attempt to use them as a straw because they have a very small hole in the middle?
No, I had an almond mom growing up.
Okay. It's
No snacks.
I'm sorry about
okay,
that.
it's fine.
But it doesn't work, but a red vine can be used as a straw
Got
because
it.
it has an ample hole.
And also hard. Ample hole and rock hard. So you put it in the drink.
hard,
No, for real though.
baby.
Because
Get me out of here.
if it's not this, I'm being serious. I am trying to talk about the structure of candy as it is used in your mouth. So if it's too soft, the hole collapses.
Yes.
You know, like a mine shaft. It just. But red vines rock hard, especially you put it in a cold drink, gets harder, and then the hole's big, and so it's a nice straw.
Do you
not
prefer red vines because you grew up in California?
So my interaction with red vines in California is that every teacher would have the Costco size
Oh yeah.
500 giant.
Good memory.
It's like how they transported ammo to Vietnam. These giant drums of red vines,
That's
and
great.
they would just put them out, and you'd I don't know, not miss a day of school for a month. They just hand you a single dusty hard red vine. It was the best time of the month.
I know. I would be like, no thanks. I'm a Twizzlers guy.
Never really dabble in black licorice. I mean, I'll eat it if it's in front. Again, I'll eat it if it's in front of me, but I'll never like look for it.
I like it. I really like black licorice.
Lake licorice. It's Australian.
Lake licorice. Aussie licorice it's much softer.
I love it.
You do love it.
I don't know if I've had authentic Australian licorice, but I've had Wiley Wallaby.
I was gonna say
That
wallaby.
sounds authentic to
Yeah,
me. But
wallaby.
it's a Wiley Wallaby.
I'm pretty
Yeah, that
sure it's
sounds like
not. I
that.
bet it's made in Wisconsin or something like that.
Australian
But
inspired.
it's meant to be Australian style licorice, and it's squishy.
I'm simply out of the gummy adjacent candy game because of the amount of crowns in my mouth. I have
Soft
given up.
community.
But that's a proud member of the soft-teethed community, and I think we have a great fellowship. We have a group that meets on Wednesdays, and we just eat marshmallows.
Good for you.
Yep, like this is the most we can handle.
for
Glad you found your people.
Thank you so much.
It's tough making friends as an adult, isn't it?
Is people rely too much on measurements. I think recipes should look more like add a glob of this, add a squirt of that, a pinch, a handful. People care about measurements too much. And that's it. Thank you.
How do you feel, Gwynedd?
I actually I personally disagree with that because I'm not a very good cook. So I need specificity in a recipe. But I think people who are good cooks can go off, baby.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think if you know how to cook a glob, everyone knows what a glob is. A squirt is a squirt. A handful is a this. A pinch is a that. So I agree with you 1,000%. But if you need guidance and if you need assistance, and if you just don't have that intrinsic knowledge of how to do it, a recipe needs to be specifics, either in weight or cups or whatever, grams, what have you.
If it's a baked good, forget about it.
Oh, yeah. Baking, you need a recipe. Yeah. It's a science.
No way, man.
What are you talking
No way.
about?
I'm with this dude. You got to glob it and squirt it. There's no measuring. I think this is a real tenet of my general cooking ethos here. There are way too many variables to ever give anybody any sort of accurate information. Your oven is not actually at 400 degrees. If it isn't exactly calibrated to 400 degrees, then the material of the pan that you are using is likely different than the material of the pan that this person used, right? You're using one ceramic versus another, that's going to hold heat differently. Your oven heats from the bottom versus the top. If you say measure in a quarter cup of water and cook it for 5 minutes at medium in a 12-inch pan, what's the material of the pan? How hot is your medium?
What about altitude?
And altitude. But that quarter cup of water is going to evaporate immediately.
But a lot of recipes allude to all the things that you just said.
They try. I don't think they can ever completely cover it. And so I think it is, again, if you're not like a seasoned cook, the only way to get better at cooking is to cook and to get a feel of it, right? But like, dude, you ever like go to an Indian friend's house and watch their mom cook?
Yeah.
And then like watch that friend cook? And they're just... You throw a dash, a gob. You just throw some butter in there.
Yeah, that's how people learn how to cook from their parents. I'm one of them. My mom never wrote anything down, but I still learn from watching her and learning. But still, if you don't have that at your fingertips, you can still learn from measurements and understanding that a scoop of this is equal to a quarter cup.
I don't think you're learning when you're using exact measurements.
I disagree with you.
I don't think you're learning. I think you're
oh my God,
following.
I so disagree with you.
I think you're following like rote sort of knowledge. Right? Like you're following rote instructions as opposed to actually learning the why. So I know people that have cooked.
You don't need to learn the why.
I think you do, because I think you need to know how to save something because something's eventually going to go bad. And I think you need to learn how to problem solve within that. It's like, what's the Common Core math?
I don't know.
Common Core math. You got to learn the building blocks of math. You don't just have to learn the answers. And then everyone is mad about it. I don't know. I know nothing about math. Please.
None of us have kids. None of us have kids in school.
But
so we shouldn't be commenting on that.
Josh. It's the general theory. It's like, but okay. So it's like why we learn. It's why we learn algebra, right? We don't learn algebra because we're gonna use it in our everyday life to calculate variables. It's so it can teach you a tenet of how to think and how to problem solve.
I don't use algebra.
I think you do though. I think anytime you're substituting one variable for another, you are using an algebraic thought pattern.
That would be nice if it were true.
She's not. Listen, she hates me. We've been posting
I don't hate you. I love you.
Gwynedd, do you know what I'm saying?
How could you say that?
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't hate you.
I loved watching you give up and turn to me.
I don't hate you.
Hey, maybe this lady.
Opposite. Opposite.
I agree to an extent.
Measurements are good.
Measurements are good. You should use them. You mean to tell me that you haven't memorized a recipe due to measurements, like in your head?
I have no measurements in my head. I have
all
vibes.
Let me tell you who does. I do. Colby does. Lily does. V does. Most of the people you're just special. You're so special, Josh. You do everything so good and so unique, and just the way you do.
Pharrell doesn't even know. He doesn't even read music, dude.
Are you comparing yourself to Pharrell Williams?
We both have an excellent. We both have the Arby's hat.
To be fair, Pharrell is my favorite producer, but that's neither here nor there. Are we done? Yay, we're done.
And on that note, Gwynedd, thank you so much for joining us. Tell the people where they can find you.
Go to sporked.com. Eventually, you can read my licorice ranking, and I'm sorry that it's red and black.
It's pretty messed up. Thank you for the apology, though. I appreciate that.
If you want to be featured on Opinions or like Casseroles, call us at 833-DOG-POD1. It is a very sultry message, and make sure to tell us how sultry it is.
And if you want to see more of our sultry messages, head over to the Mythical Kitchen YouTube channel. Statistically, a majority of you are watching this on the Mythical Kitchen YouTube channel, but head there anyways. It's like saying to somebody in your house, hey, you should come over to my house. You know.
You should follow Sporked.com. Well, not Sporked.com. You should follow Sporked on YouTube.
Or YouTube, yeah.
We do taste tests and it's fun.
You should get a
Very fun.
badged
Badged
salad.
It's pronounced
the cup
bagged.
of salads.
Bagged.
It's pronounced bagged
Bagged
salad. Yes.
You should get a hat. You should.
I've got bagged.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.